wanted to get into something that it may not obviously affect the channel right now as far as you guys watching, but it has been affecting the channel, and it will become more obvious that it's affecting the channel. Those of you that have been around the channel for a while know that I run my own business. Been doing that full time for 3 years. I did it for 3 years as a side thing. Prior to that, the first year and a half that I ran my own business, which I do like sports collectibles and autograph collectibles and metal artwork, wall crosses and stuff like that, and a bunch of little stuff. The first year and a half I did it was great, went great. The last year and a half, almost 2 years now, not so much. 2018 financially was a really bad year for me. I won't get too detailed on why. It's just there's several factors beyond my control. That 2018 was just a really bad year. Point being, I was getting to the point I was going to have to take a couple of steps back, reorganize the business. In order to do that, I decided I'm going to have to get a part-time job. I do have one right now. It's as a delivery driver. I'm not going to give the name of the place I'm working for, but the thumbnail and the title of the video shouldn't be too hard for you to figure out what kind of delivery driving job it is. I had actually been a delivery driver before, not that kind of delivery driver, but I had done some delivery driving in the past for a company that was horrible, and the pay was horrible, but the job itself I really liked. Well, in March, I applied for this job. They called me, said, "Hey, can you come over for a quick interview?" I said, "Yeah, give me 40 minutes, I'll be there." I was there in less than 30, and the manager was already gone. Well, the assistant manager was there, and he took a copy of my driver's license, was talking like I was already hired, basically. Took a copy of my driver's license, said, "We'll do the background check. Once we do the background check, we'll call you back in, we'll get you hired in, da-da-da." Okay, great. Well, I waited and waited and waited and waited, and the call never came. And I just decided, well, I guess they changed their mind. Maybe, they hired somebody else. Somebody's brother-in-law needed a job, whatever the case was. And so I just wrote it off. Stumbled through a couple of other things. I actually did hire in at another well-known restaurant as a dishwasher. Hated it. And that didn't really work out because they really weren't giving me the hours I was actually needing. And it was really too far for me to drive anyway. By the time I paid gas back and forth, I really wasn't coming away with much. And so I just kind of let that one go. Applied to the place that's literally a block and a half away. Ended up, they were hiring for 2 positions. I ended up not getting either one of them. When I saw the people they did hire, it made me think, well, maybe the problem is I'm not doing drugs. Is that what I need to do? I don't know. But I didn't get that job. Now, the reason I moved my video, when I upload my videos from Monday to Sunday, the reason I did that was because I actually got in a training program. Now, this was actually a full-time job, but it was set hours Monday through Friday. I was going to be off at 3:30 in the afternoon. Any kind of mail orders I might have, I could take care of that during my lunch break. I could make it work, and the place is literally a 2-minute drive from my house. Problem was, this was running an industrial sewing machine, and I got in a training program. And their training program basically consisted of, here's some material, figure it out. So if you knew how to run an industrial sewing machine, you would probably do okay. If you at least had run a home sewing machine, you might be able to adjust. Someone like me that had never touched either before I walked through those doors, I wasn't getting it. We kind of mutually agreed that I just wasn't catching on, at least not quick enough. If I'd had more time maybe or some more instruction, maybe I would have done better, but that didn't pan out. And like I said, my options were getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and I really was to a point I didn't know what I was going to do. As far as the business went, it seemed like the harder I tried, the worse things got. I was stressed out. I was getting depressed. I was running out of money. But I kept seeing that this place I went to in March was still advertising for a delivery driver. So I decided I'm going to try again. I'm going to go ahead and apply again. Maybe there was just some kind of snafu. Something happened. Well, I get the call again, and I actually went in. I actually met with the manager this time. Brief interview. I'm hired. Come back tomorrow. We'll do some what they call computer training. That's just some bunch of BS that you have to do on the computer. Only takes a couple hours, and then they'll get me started. Turns out this is like the most unorganized place I've ever worked in my entire life. I came really close to just walking out one day, but I stopped and I said, "You can't do that. You can't do it because you got nowhere else to go. You're not in a position where you can just walk out." As it turns out, what was going on, and as I stuck around there within a couple of days, and I finally was let in on a couple of things and all that, the manager that was there wasn't managing anything. She was known to come in, clock in, then just leave, and she was getting paid for doing nothing. And the powers that be found out about it and obviously didn't like it much. From what I was told, she did that a lot when it came to hiring people. We can hire this person, and then she just never would follow through with it. Well, she's gone now. New manager in place, much more organized. I'm actually learning, and it's not a hard job. It's just one of those jobs where once you're shown what to do, it's like, oh, well, that's easy enough. But if you don't know what to do, doesn't matter what it is, you're not going to be any good at it if you just don't know what to do. And now I'm in a much better position. It is a much more relaxed atmosphere. It's much more organized. And it reminds me that, my mother was a strong believer in everything happening for a reason. And I think that's why this all happened. Well, I was put in a position where I was just I was at the end of the rope and the strings were coming apart. But if I had started in March, I probably wouldn't have stuck with it. I probably would have got to a point where I said, I can't put up with this anymore. As it is, I came in at just the right time. I came in a much better situation, even though I caught the tail end of that other one. It is a much better situation. So as far as things going for me, it's a lot better. But as far as how it pertains to the channel, I also no longer set my own hours every day. Since they are giving me, I still have my business open. It's just a side thing again. And they are giving me second Monday weekend off, so I can do that. And because of that, I sense they'll probably have me working every other weekend. It's not second Monday weekend. So that's going to affect when I can go out and do videos. I probably won't be able to go out with What's Paranormal as much as I used to. So eventually, right now I've got a big library of videos in my pocket. But eventually you may see less. Fewer of the paranormal videos and abandoned exploration videos. You may see more historical sites and museums and stuff like that. So some slight changes, maybe after the first of the year. So if you enjoy the non-paranormal videos more, it may be right up your alley. That may be a good thing for you. I just want to let everybody know what was going on. I don't even know if anybody's even noticed anything. I guess it's really affected more the way I watch YouTube than anything as far as uploading videos up to this point, because as I've said before, I usually, when I upload a video, I go back to the previous video and at least try to get to everybody that commented on that video. I think that's only fair. At least get to them first, and then after that, just get to whoever I can whenever I can. And as it is, I'm probably going to have a little less time to do that now, so it may be longer stretches before I get to people now. Anyway, that's what's going on. And for to close it out, I have an outtake from a YouTube suggestions, and it's actually something you've never seen, because YouTube suggestions, that's a thing that I'm really proud of, because it's something I took and it was organic, and it kind of developed into what it is now. It's something that I use to try and help other small channels, and it took me a while to really get it polished and get it where I wanted it to be. It was around the 11th or 12th one before I really got it where I wanted it. And it took some thinking and some trial and error. And this outtake is actually from YouTube Suggestions 11, what I was going to try to do with it. And I think you'll, even though I don't say it, you'll be able to pick out the moment that in my head I thought, this ain't going to work. So there's a little glimpse into the past. And speaking of YouTube suggestions, I'm going to be coming out with a new one of those sometime soon. But I hope you enjoyed the ride. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the outtake, and I will see you next time. If you've never seen YouTube suggestions before, what I do is I take 5 small channels that are on YouTube, and I give a brief rundown, talk about the content that they have, and if you've never, yeah.